All right, boys, I was sitting at my desk here and I was looking at Q&A questions from the free Telegram. I did a Q&A the other night and somebody asked me, he said, how would you hit 10K a month ASAP if you had to start all over? Like, what would you do to hit 10K a month really, really quickly and essentially hit it ASAP? And I was creating a voice note to reply to this guy and I was spitting some serious fucking game. And then it got to the point where I was like, holy shit, like I could yap about this for 10, 15 minutes. And I figured, why not make this just a little like get rich talk, a little like mini YouTube video and post it later. So grabbed my camera and here we are. So let's get into it. How would I hit 10K a month ASAP? Really, really fast. So for context, I hit $10,000 a month after 9 months of being in this online money space, whatever you want to call it. And now I make around $30,000 a month profit. As you guys can see, I live in Miami. It's pretty cool. But I think something that prevented me from hitting $10,000 a month a lot sooner was simply my standard and what I would tolerate and what I perceived as above my standard and below my standard. And so to get this point across to you in this video, I want to start this off with a little story. So on my come up, back way before I was hitting $10,000 a month, this would probably be like in month 3 or month 4 of my journey. I had this thing where I could not get above $10,000 in my bank account, like as savings, like liquid in my bank account. I just couldn't do it. And for the longest time, like I couldn't figure out why. But now that I look back on it and reflect, it actually, makes me realize that this is heavily related to why I didn't hit 10K a month earlier in income, right? And so here's what would happen. Things would be going well in the business, or I would be working really hard. I'd be working 12-hour days. I'd be doing my thing. I'd be absolutely locked in. And slowly but surely, and I'd be being really smart with my money. And slowly but surely, my savings would rise and my income would increase. And I would get to $10,000 in my bank account. But here was the issue with that is I started to view that as a lot of money. I viewed that as above my standard of what I considered to be like what I was capable of, right? So every time I would get to $10,000 in my bank account, I would self-sabotage. Like I would go like spend money. I'd go do stupid shit. I'd go to the club, or I'd go to the bar and I'd just go spend a fuck ton of money. I'd go buy clothes. I'd go buy like a MacBook, just some random bullshit that I absolutely didn't need. And that's because like when I got to $10,000 in my bank account and I viewed that as above my standard, I was like, oh, I'm lit. Like this is like, I don't know, it gives you that prideful feeling that this is a lot of money to you. And what that did to me was it would bring the money in my bank account obviously lower. I would go be stupid. I would not focus on the business. I would stop working. I would shut down my momentum. And all of a sudden I'd look at my bank account, a week later, 2 weeks later, and there'd be $3,000, right? And I'd drop down to $3,000. And what would happen when that amount of money was in my bank account is I would start tweaking out. When there was $3,000 in my bank account, in my checking account, I would start tweaking out. I would turn into literally the Warren Buffett of money. I would stay at my desk for 12-hour days, locked in, cracked out on Celsius, fucking ripping, substances that I probably shouldn't. Like I would be, locked in. I'd be a nicotine addict and I'd be at my desk literally 12 hours a day. I'd be investing my money. I'd be like fucking prime Warren Buffett. And what this resulted in, due to that, it put me in this like fight or flight mode of I have to increase my income. I have to get my savings. I have to increase my savings because $3,000, I perceived that as below my standard. Okay, then that would bring me back up to 10,000. Then I would get really prideful because I viewed that as above my standard, and that would always bring me down. And what I realized is that every single thing, okay, your income, the amount of money you actually hold on to, liquid savings, whatever you want to call it, it all regresses or progresses to the standard. So I think in that example, I had a subconscious standard for myself that I didn't even realize of like $6,000, because anything above that I view it as, oh, I'm lit. Like I'm actually like, I'm saving. Like I'm up right now. Anything below that would put me in that fight or flight tweak out. Like I need to turn into Warren Buffett and stay at my desk for 12 hours a day and fucking work all day, right? And so I had a subconscious standard of $6,000 in my bank account. Now you might be wondering, Jason, okay, how does this relate to hitting $10,000 a month in income, okay? And here's how it relates. The reason I didn't hit $10,000 a month in income earlier, and I think at that time I was making around a couple $1,000s a month, sometimes more, sometimes less, but the reason I didn't make $10,000 a month in income was because I perceived it as way above my standard. I perceived it as this out of touch, like godlike thing that one day I'll hit, you know, if everything goes right for me. Like, it was just this dream of a thing to hit. It was this out of touch thing. It was way above my standard. So what I realized through this whole process is if you want to hit $10,000 a month ASAP, and the second I started to hit it is the second you have to raise your standard. That number in your bank account, or that income level that you're at, where, you know, the thing regresses to, like, anything above that you feel lit, anything below that you feel like shit. Holy, that's a bar right there. But that is your standard, and you need to artificially raise that so that something like $10,000 a month feels normal. It's not this like crazy thing for you to hit. It's almost like you wouldn't tolerate anything less than that, you know? The second you can get your mentality there is the second you'll actually make $10,000 a month. And now here's how I've done this, and I've done this to perpetually increase my income. I told you I hit $10,000 a month after 9 months of being in this game. Well, I'm less than like 9 months after that, I'm at $30,000 a month. I've tripled my income, and I'm gonna hit $100,000 a month less than a year from now. That's so fucking easy. I'm gonna do it, right? How have I done this? How have I artificially raised my standard? Well, here's how. There's 3 ways I've learned about how to raise your standard, or how I've raised my standard, okay? And the first is people. The people around you raise your standard. Your standard will naturally rise or fall to the people around you. They say you're the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think that's to a degree true. Mainly, like, you rise or fall to the average standard of your friend group. I'll give you an example that's not income related. So obviously, if you guys have seen my friends, some of them live here in Miami. My roommate's actually in that room over there. He's lit. But some of my other friends, they have a house here. Someone else lives in this building, etc. Whatever. A lot of my friends make significantly more money than me. They're either liquid millionaires on paper, they make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in income, and they've just been in the game longer, and naturally they've had more time to compound, and they make significantly more money than me, right? Their standards are a lot higher than me. And so I'll give you an example of how this manifests in a way that's not even related to income. So when I first got here to Miami, okay, I was going on a 3-man with 2 of my friends, my roommate and another friend, right? Mind you, like, once again, some of these people make significantly more money than me. Their standards are a lot higher, right? So I went on this 3-man. It's like an hour before the girls come over, okay? So it's like fucking prime time. Imagine it's like right before the game 7 of the NBA finals, right? We're about to go on 3-man. We're about to go get drinks. It's about to be a fun night, right? And I pull up, and I'm wearing this like friend shirt, right? It's this old friend shirt that I had. Because mind you, I'm from Indiana. I'm from bumfuck Indiana. The way they dress there and their standards are completely fucking different than the people here, right? And so I pull up in like what I perceive to be a solid fit. Like, I'm going on a 3-man. I want to dress my best, right? And I pull up, and one of my friends who makes significantly more money than me, right? And he's just been doing this longer. He was just like, bro, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. That fit is fucking trash. Like, he was like, that is like, you dress like you're sub 10K a month. Like, we gotta fucking fix this shit right now. So I start tweaking on mine, dude. This is like an hour before the 3-man, right? This is right before game 7 of the NBA finals, and you're getting breaking news that like your fucking mom died or something. Like, you know, I gotta like not let this affect my headspace. So I'm like, all right, fucking throw me a fit then. Let me borrow some Balenci or some shit. He throws me a fit, whatever. It was a good night, fun night. But the point I'm trying to make is his standard. And by the way, now, like, look, I'm not a fucking, anyways, now I'm not like a fashionista. I'm still working on that. But the point is very simple. It's like his standard for how to dress was significantly higher than mine. And by being around him, it brought my standard up. Now I no longer tolerate anything less than that, if that makes sense. Like I can, now perceive if I throw a fit like that, like I know what that looks like. Like I wouldn't tolerate that. And my wardrobe has increased significantly. And that's like a very material example. But this manifests everywhere in your life with your friends. Your income will rise or fall to the standard of your friends. Your savings will rise or fall to the standard of your friends. How you dress, your the quality of women you hang out with, it's all the same. It's all the fucking same. It's about standards. And so if you want to artificially increase your standards, you need to get around people who have high standards and who are doing better than you, essentially, right? The second way I have figured out, and so how that also relates to, hitting 10K a month ASAP is, if you get around friends who are making significantly more money than 10K a month, who would literally, like, if they hit a 10K a month, it would be like their mom died. Like, it would be a horrible situation. They wouldn't tolerate making $10,000 a month or less. You're naturally going to perceive that as your standard. You're naturally going to perceive that as like, oh, that's normal to me. It'll be a more like tangible, realistic thing for you to do, right? And so the second way to increase your standard is your environment, right? And so what I've done to do this is pretty obvious. I live here in Miami, okay? The standard, literally what you would call the standard of living, is just fucking higher than any other place, I think, in probably planet Earth. I don't know, you got LA, you got New York, you got Dubai, you got cities like that, but this is up there, right? It's probably top 5. And so naturally, every single thing here is just better than other places, meaning like the women are more beautiful. They're just simply more beautiful here. The standard for that is higher, okay? The average income is way higher, okay? The perceived, at least like the way people are perceived, like it seems like a lot of people have a lot of money. Now I know some people fake that shit and they like are phonies with it, and they're stretching their bank account to rent out a Lamborghini Huracan and make content. I get that. I'm not talking about those people, but I'm just saying, like, the standard for that is higher. You like the fucking daily car here is like a Lamborghini Urus, okay? So the standard for that is just simply really, really high. The standard for your physical health here, everybody's in shape, everybody's tan, everybody's jacked, everybody's tatted. Like, the standard of living is just so fucking high here, and naturally, after living here for a period of time, your standard goes up. Even your standard for what you spend. Like, bro, we're talking about how to hit 10K a month ASAP, okay? Since moving here, I mean, I can't really recall many months where I spent less than $10,000 in the month, okay? Just my standard of living like that. Once again, how could $10,000 a month be, above your standard if you're spending $10,000 a month? Like, I pay 3.5K a month to live here in this amazing, beautiful apartment, okay? Actually, like 3.6. I spend money when I travel, when I Uber, I spend money on random shit. I went to the club last weekend, spend money on clothes. I'm taking my family out to dinner this weekend. Like, it's really rare to not spend $10,000 in a month here, right? And you gotta pay for food. I DoorDash a fuckload. Like, it's just really rare. That being my standard, it does something to your perception of money, where like certain things that you used to think were a lot are just simply the standard now. Like, for example, I'm gonna be buying a car here probably in the next couple of months, right? And I thought about for a second, I was like, what if I got a Lamborghini Urus? Like, that would be a dope car. It's reasonable, I could get that car, I'd be fine. But you know what stopped me from getting that car? Is because honestly, since being here, I perceive that as like almost below my standard, right? In the sense of like, everybody has a Lamborghini Urus here, It's just so common. I've been conditioned upward. My standard has been conditioned upward to where that is a very common thing to have here, and now I no longer want that, right? And so I'm gonna choose a different car to get instead of that car. So that's just an example, but like, your environment changes everything. The standard you have for yourself in every aspect of your life is extremely dictated by your environment. You have to move to a city, a place, or cultivate the environment you're currently in to condition yourself upward. Make things that you think are like a lot, make things that you think are out of touch or above your standard. You need to simply make them as like this reasonable thing that's way below your standard that you see every day. It's like, oh, this is nothing, you know? Okay, so that's number 2. The third and final thing to condition your standard upward and hit 10K a month really, really fast is your actions. You need to condition your actions and the standard for your actions upward. So let me give you another great example, okay? Once again, I've said this many times. I come from bumfuck Indiana, okay? I'm from Indiana. If you know anything about Indiana, it's like cornfields. The people there, they have really small standards. They think really small. And, you know, fundamentally, there's not like, I don't know, not a lot of people like pop out in designer clothes, right? On a night out, right? Hence why in the first story I told you, I threw a trash fit because that's just where I'm from, okay? And so when I first got here, right, I didn't really have like a nice pair of shoes. I have a pair of white Air Force Ones. They're nice, they look good, but they're not like insanely nice pair of shoes. It's pretty standard. I have a pair of Panda Dunks. Those things are trash. I wear those to the gym. I don't know, I didn't really have a nice pair of shoes, and yet you walk around here, once again, this goes back to your environment and people. You walk around here and everybody's got Louis V trainers, everybody's got Mason Margielas, everybody's got like these crazy fucking shoes on, right? Which when I initially moved here was fucking like crazy for me, right? And so when I initially moved here, I didn't have a ton of money to my name. Certainly not as much as I have now, right? And my income wasn't as high as it is now. And so when I first got here, like spending like $1,000 on shoes, like kind of made me feel uncomfortable, right? Like that kind of like was an uncomfortable purchase, especially where I'm from. You know those purchases and those risks you take with money that make you feel a little like queasy in your stomach. You get that uncomfortable feeling like, oh fuck, like, you know, I've never done this before. You know, this is above my standard, right? So when I first got here, I was like, fuck it, I need a nice pair of shoes. So I went to the store and I bought a pair of Travis Scott, all black Travis Scott Dunks, right? They're about $1.2 thousand, right? $1,200 for one pair of shoes, which once again, for me, where at that time was a lot. Like that was like, fuck, I've never done that before. Gave me that weird feeling. I fucking swiped my Amex. I was like, fuck it. And you know, it was a purchase I made. You know, since being here, I've made multiple of those purchases. I spent $1,000 on dinner. This isn't to flex, by the way. None of these things are impressive, okay? But you know, you do $1,000 dinners. You take actions that condition your standard upward, and now things like that are so normal, right? The point I'm trying to make is like, at first, that thing I perceived it as above my standard, so it felt weird. Now that's like I wouldn't say a daily thing, but like, you know, you see that all the time. I've taken actions like that to where it doesn't, like, I don't get that same feeling when I go buy shoes. I'm about to go out to dinner with my family on Friday. I think I'm gonna hit Design District tomorrow and get a nice fit. I'll spend $1,000, $2,000 on it, and it doesn't like hurt. Like it doesn't make me tweak, because by taking that action many times, my standard has risen. So like I wouldn't tolerate anything less than that. Okay. So anyways, boys, this is how I would hit $10,000 a month ASAP. I think the main reason you guys haven't hit $10,000 a month is because your standard for it's like this out of touch thing that you perceive as above your standard. The more you can condition your standard up, and you can artificially raise the bar slowly but surely by repetition and through action and through these 3 things I shared with you in this video, it will just become so inevitable. You'll be so used to that amount of money that by the time you get there, it won't even feel like anything. You'll just be always chasing the next thing. So anyways, that was a little get rich talk. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.